Hello, this video is going to talk a little bit about formatting your paper. Now I want you to keep in mind that there are two different formats that we'll be looking at in this class. We won't spend too much time on formatting, so this is going to kind of be your crash course. Now all of you are going to fall into one of two categories. You're either going to be writing in Turabian or you'll be writing in APA format. If you are a ministry major and you've declared a ministry major, then you will be writing in Turabian. And everybody else will be writing in APA. So that should clarify which camp you fall into. I'm going to look at Turabian first. I'm just going to breeze through this so we can get to APA too. But this is a sample paper written in Turabian style. You'll notice this has a cover page, and it's got the title of the essay about a third of the way down the page, and note that it is center aligned. And you'll see that down at the bottom of this first page, we've got student name, the name of the class, and then the due date of this paper. So, this is general. To me, it doesn't matter, if there's an extra space, inserted at the bottom. So that doesn't really matter as much to me, but it should look somewhat like this, your first page. Your second page, you should have your page number, so you can access your header by double-clicking in this area. And then you'll go and click page number, and that will automatically insert your page number here, so you'll see it generated pages 2 and 3 and so on for you, so you don't have to automatically go in, or manually rather, go in and do that. Okay, so for this particular assignment, this one is a narrative. So if you did a narrative, you probably didn't cite any sources. You may have if you did a compare and contrast, but going on from this course, you will be learning how to use in-text citations. And so I just want to cover that really quickly so that if you have any questions for next week, they're already answered here. So for Turabian, there's two different ways that you can cite a source. So if you used a direct quotation from someone, you're gonna quote it like this. You're gonna put it in your quotation marks, and of course your punctuation will go at the end here after your citation, your in-text citation. So here's what you can do. You can either do an in-text citation like this, and if you choose to go this route, you do not need to do a footnote at the bottom of your page. So it would be this like this, and then reference at the end of your paper on its own page. References would be centered in the page. And then here would be my my full reference here. Or you can choose to do a footnote. And in this case, you would click where you want the footnote to go. You would hit insert and then footnote, and it'll automatically put this little 1 here or 2 or so on and so forth. And then it'll generate this down here, and this is where you put your information instead. So with Turabian, you get a choice. So if you do an in-text citation, you're going to do your author last name, year, comma, and page number. If you do a footnote, then nothing will be inserted inside the text, but down at the bottom, you would put your first and last name of the author. You would put the title of your article in quotation marks, and then here we have the journal name, so this would be a book title as well. And then this would be the journal, the series number or the volume, and the number, and then you would insert your published date, colon, and the page number. Of course, this is in parentheses, so it should look exactly like this. And then on your references page, so again, you would do a reference page if you're doing your in-text citation. If you choose to do a footnote, it's going to look like this. You're going to have your footnote at the bottom, and then you will instead use a bibliography. And you may be asking, what's the difference between bibliography and a reference page? And the answer is that a bibliography may contain more sources that you didn't necessarily use in your paper, but you just wanted to kind of link them and show them to your reader in case they wanted to follow up for more information on your topic. So this is the Turabian style. If you have any questions about this, you can let me know. I'm going to move on to APA. So this is for all of our non-ministry majors. This is what your paper will look like. This is more of a scientific way of writing papers. So if you're a business major, or if you are doing psychology or sociology or any kind of social science, you'll be using this format. So here, you're going to do something called a running head. This is an abbreviated version of your title. I choose to put this up here in my header. I double click here. You're going to type running head just like this with a colon, and then you're going to capitalize sort of like an abbreviated version of your title. So I just put major paper number 1, and then I spaced over here and I inserted a page number. And then right here, about maybe halfway down the page, this is my full title, major paper number 1, colon, strength and weakness, narrative essay. And then you'll double space, you'll put your name, and then Southeastern University, and then this is your cover page. On the second page, you'll see, because I put it in the header, this is automatically generated, so I didn't have to do anything here. And then you'll space down, and then you'll put your full title here again, and then here is the body of your work. Again, I'm going to show you some in-text citation, formatting, and then reference page as well. So here's an example of a quote that I've taken very literally. So here's your author name, and for APA, you're going to do author name, comma, and then your year. Another thing you might see very commonly in the social sciences is Baird said this quote. So this is another way that you can also do a quote. You can talk about the author, you can use the author name in your sentence, and then you put your year here. And if you have a page number, then you would add a page number. So comma, I don't know, 12. So here would be your page number. So the key thing to keep in mind for APA, APA is a little bit different in the fact that you will never ever see an author name without a published date. Those two are married, and so they can never be apart. And so if you use an author name here, then you're going to need to put your published date at the end in the parentheses. Now at the end, you'll do, again on a separate page, you'll do your references. This one's going to look a little different than Turabian. You've got your author last name, comma, and first initial. So you will not spell out the first name of your author. So it'll just be the first initial, and then a period. And again, the name and the year are married. So here is our published year in parentheses with a period. This would be my my title of my article. And in APA, you only capitalize the first word. Everything else is lowercase, and there's no quotation marks. So this is my title of my article, and then here is my book title or my journal title here, which will be italicized, comma, and then I've got my journal, my volume number, and then series number will be in parentheses, comma, and then the page range and a period. And again, this would also be a hanging indent if this went on to a second line. So if you have any questions about how to format, that's just a kind of like a general crash course. And you may notice that I had put up 2 PowerPoints, one for each style of writing, and then obviously, of course, a sample paper that I sent out to the class. So you can find more information there.